So Dravidians, as I mentioned, get good tech tree, Frost opening with a lot of champions. So it's true as well. And as you mentioned, Oda, the fight for the middle is already commenced.
Are you speeding up? I thought we go to normal speed. Then I
Yes.
go left.
Yes, I'm at live, yeah. So we're at 5 minutes. So Frost actually going for early elephant archers. So as we know, they're very tanky still.
I think you have to cast a bit because I'm still catching up. So.
Are you still catching up? Okay, so basically, Frost looks like he had a game plan from the start. He's gone heavily for the middle, and he's already basically overpowered True. I think True was kind of a bit thrown off by the elite elephant archers. So Frost has already got trebuchets out. He's already got 13 siege onagers as well. So, and as we know, those elephant archers do have 280 HP. Not as much as they used to because they got kind of downgraded a bit, but they're still very strong. We have a Dravidians War for game number 1 on Karazhan. Let me know when you've caught up as well.
I think I have now.
Cool. I'm at 7 minutes as well. Do you know what I find interesting? True has not opted to go for the colour blue. Usually he does, isn't he? A bit like the Viper of colour yellow is 4.
Maybe you wanted to be nice on that map? Like Frost's a bit more hidden here on the lakes maybe, but True with the first jump to the left lake here, and there's the unique unit coming out. So we see some elite Urumi swordsman, probably for the first time in a DM showmatch.
And thank you, Maldo, for the sub. Yeah, Frost told me about this new elite unit, the Umari. So basically ignores, it's basically like a Burgundian Constilia. It basically has a charge up attack that you can use.
Majority attacks. Oh yeah, I can see it.
So apparently it's actually a really good unit. But
it doesn't look really too great against siege archers and elephant archers.
Yes. So elephant archers are still very strong, as we know, with the original Indian Civ, which obviously have changed names now. But they're still very strong. Looks like True's going for a little raid on the top left. Trying to get some villagers. So, Oda, what do you think True needs to do? Obviously, he's been pushed off the middle. The only advantage for the middle is obviously you gain the map. There's also all the 5 relics, but there's no additional gold. So, I'm just looking around the map.
There is gold to the left around the lakes. It's not looking too good for True because both the golds are on Frost side of the lakes.
Yep.
But True has control of the left lake, and might get control of the right lake as well, having 2 docks there soon.
Yep, so he's looking to... Well, he's already got some fishing ships on the left. Frost has already got his economy up, and so's True. So look at the military count. Frost is sitting around about 75. True's about 56. But it's... We all know in DM, especially in team games, Otter, isn't it? Those elephant archers are a real pain to dispose of. The best way I've dealt with them is heavy siege onager.
I'm sorry, I don't know why Mute on Focus Lost is not working for me right now. I hear the attack notifications, I shouldn't really hear them.
See on Catch Rage, there's a new thing on the left. I don't know if that's going to become annoying. It basically gives you a warning every time an individual unit is under attack for a player.
Oh, that's what I'm hearing. So it's not an issue, it's actually a feature?
Oh, you can disable that, I think. Or change it. I had to look in the settings because I wanted to disable those attack messages on the left. So Maldar says, could you increase Otter sound a little bit? Yes, sure, Maldar. Thank you for letting me know.
I'll do it in between the games, I think.
There we go. I've turned you up a little bit. I've turned you up a little bit, so hopefully... How's that, Maldar? Does he need to be higher, or is he pretty okay?
I don't know, but True has some ships in the North Pond now. However, the middle is starting to look even more worrying. True managed to sneak 2 relics out of the middle, though. That's really good for him.
Yeah. Frost has also got 2 relics as well. So actually, yeah, that's a really good kind of heist attempt, isn't it? Considering Frost has dominated that middle from the first minute. Unfortunately, I can't really see how Kellen is going to get back into this. Kelly's actually housed right now, and that's really bad in any sort of DM game when you're on the back foot and you're getting housed.
Absolutely, yeah, with losing the front castles there. Ooh, also trying to put some siege workshops up, but he can't because the traps are still there. He might lose. He made a sneaky nice dock on the left side there as well. Certainly does look like True is under a lot of pressure. Helvetiers now probably way more viable against Elephant Archers with the changes.
Yep, and I think probably True probably doesn't have too much of a choice. I'm gonna look at the food. Where's the? Oh no, it's at the top because we're doing 1v1.
Well, he has
so
2k gold.
It's
still True after all. He always has his gold bank.
He's got his resource hacks going, isn't he? For some reason, he can have no gold piles he's mining, but he'll have like 7,000 gold in the bank.
And 40 on gold, at least it says that. So yeah. He's still mining the back golds. He has nice back golds. That's good for him.
Yep.
And yeah, now, I mean, if True can stop this army from demolishing everything, then he kind of has a more important advantage than the middle right now.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not sure if he can stop that.
Frost only has 2 trebuchets. That's going to be a little bit slow, but really smart by Frost to actually right-click down the first of the 2 monasteries there, because they're both of where Helen's relics is, and obviously one's just got ejected there.
Yep, it's true. However, 3k gold, so still a little bit of juice in here. I wonder what I don't think the unique unit. Doesn't look too convincing to make infantry with all the elephant archers, but I'm also not too sure how good the unique unit is.
They sort of remind me of like a Shotel Karambit warrior, in all honesty. Very, very low HP. They look like they move really slow as well. I'm just watching a few of them. 65 HP. Yeah, they're going to get more or less flattened by one onager shot or siege onager shot. So maybe late game raiding they might be useful, but yeah, it looks like another.
I think what True needs is more SO.
Yeah.
Like all the armor that Frost has is susceptible to SO fire. Now he's making some at the right side, but he will lose his middle base, and that's the relics. Let's see if Frost wants to sneak that.
Yeah, and Frost is doing the smart thing.
Yeah, he's sending monks forward.
He knows with True's army lacking, well, True's at 39 compared to Frost 74 now. Just keep making those elephant archers, because he knows True is going to really struggle massing an army to kind of contend them. Yeah, it's looking not too great, is it, at the moment, for the Quendi player?
Not really. He's tried to mass some SO now, has 4 SO there on the right side, and we see an armored elephant on the battlefield.
Oh, where's the armored? There it is. The armored elephant. So 250 HP. I'm just looking. Wow. I'm gonna follow him around for a bit.
Fat.
It does. It looks like it's been feeding on the fish ponds a bit too much, but I'm just kind of following it now because I want him to do something. I don't want him just to be there for show. We don't even get to see something. But at least he was on the field. At least he was on the field. So there we have 1-0. Very convincing by Frost. I think he did his research. We know Frost is very like that with any game. It looks like he researched the map, he researched the civ, what to build. So very impressive by Frost. We know he's a top deathmatch player, and he takes game number 1, Otter.
And there we have our answer, right, to the question of elephant archers are viable.
And they are.
And even with the SO civs, they were winning the game here, I think, for Frost.
Yes.
So can you tell me where I disabled that really quickly? The sound, probably.
In the sound, and I think you scroll down, it's called like attack notifications.
Notifications, none.
So I'm going to update this. Apologies, I have to next time. I didn't realize I have the rune size. I thought I had the Kawazan icon, but I actually don't. But I do have the Dravidians Civ icon, so I'll paste that in because that's what both players picked for game number 1. So game number 2, if you're familiar with the DM World Cup, it's basically as True lost game number 1, he will pick 2 civs and a map, and Frost will have first choice on what civ he wants to play, and then True will play the other civ that he suggested.
So we're either going to see 4 Lakes, Runestones, or Takama. Oh, please don't Hans Goss. If I'll quit the show match if we see Hans Goss. I did the Forgotten series, right? And I casted also True set against Chris. And And the Hans Goss thing, man, it was so bad. For those of you who didn't watch Deathmatch World Cup 4, Drew and some others kept picking Hans Goss, and the Goss had a really good win rate there, and the other guys mostly picked the Goss then.
Yes.
There was one game, I think, where Drew actually managed to win with Hans.
Oh, nice. That's impressive, because once Goths get going, it can be very, very hard. Even though they lack treadmill crane, in a 1v1 DM setting, if you get good enough farmers, you can just spam. Just spam, spam, spam.
Zayu is asking towers not allowed. Interesting. Why is that? So I have to ask the tower team game expert Polar that question.
Yes, I think as admins, we decided, well, it's sort of like when I saw the Freakin' Andy versus Leash show match with the Japanese, I just feel like keeps now, a lot of players are very clever with them. Unlike the old days when a lot of people didn't really build keeps, but a lot of players now, they build a lot of keeps. They're clever because if they see any onagers or units coming in behind, they will manually focus them. So it was sort of a bit sad just seeing like ram pushes kind of redundant. So we thought, why not make it where no towers or keeps of any sort allowed, and we just have all-out warfare. So, what are your thoughts on that, Otter?
I am very interested to see a Japanese war.
Yes, I think a Japanese war will be a lot of microing with HTA, with onagers, and Treb warfare. So, we are waiting for game 2. Clear Capsule says towers are OP. Yeah.
Trash says, can we please ban towers forever? So we have some support.
So this is settings we're trying out. Obviously, we've got an announcement after this to keep the DM flowing. So, yeah, so we're just trying out some settings here. And obviously, the only walling you're allowed is quick walling of villagers. So you're not allowed to obviously wall out your whole economy or wall out between wood lines. So we just want old-fashioned, aggressive deathmatch play. I mean, I know the Quendies will love that because we know the Quendies hate walls. However, the Sunos love walls and towers. So.
Do you have an update on the next game, maybe?
So Boomstick says towers OP in the right hands. I know exactly why Boomstick said that, Mr. Japanese man. Let's see if Frost has given me an update.
I think we have a game.
We have a game. We have game number. Yeah, okay, let's look on AV2.net.
And really interesting civs there.
Okay, we can just go straight into live. Okay, I've seen the game. Okay, so I'm going to load it up. Yes, and I'll load up the capture age. I'm going to game number 2. So
Byzantines versus Slavs. What do you make of that?
Byzantines versus Slavs. Okay. So this was obviously True's map pick, so he's gone for runestones, and he's given Frost the options Byzantine or Slavs. I'm not sure what has True got up his sleeve, because I think 9 times out of 10 you would pick Slavs over Byzantines, right? Or am I missing
would
something
absolutely, yeah. But I think he's thinking a lot about an early cataphract ramp push, maybe. We see him starting with castles with the market, heavy market start as well, and some barracks being added there as well. But it's mainly going to be cataphracts, I think.
What you have to remember is like what AR12 said as well. The Slavs with the new patch, don't they? They get cheaper castles now. Aren't they about 450 stone?
Oh yeah, that is well, right?
Yeah, so good memory by AR12. I'm taking no credit. Maldor says Slavs 100%. And Maldor, I know your best friend Dream Legend would also agree with that. So
his best friend. And it is like siege workshops forward, so I think we maybe start with some onagers, but a ram push, like something that involves rams versus slavs, not too sure, right? All the SO out there.
I do like the way True is taking control of the map, but we know Frost only goes pure aggressive if he's like 100% confident. That's what I've learned. And with Slavs, I think he's just doing the right thing. Don't go too aggressive. Mass an army, because your army is going to be so much more powerful than the Byzantines. The only way the Byzantines can stop this, I was about to say with onagers and BBC, but those boyars are just mobility. I can't see how True's going to stop this, to be honest.
I think I played it with Celts. I had played a random Civ game against Hazy, where I was Byzantines and he was a siege onager, mighty siege onager Civ. I don't exactly remember which one, but I think it was Byzantine. He was Celts, or maybe even Slavs. And I almost killed him with a big cataphract ram push and the clump start.
Okay. Paladins actually
he was
said
going
watch
very
and
much
take
forward.
notes. Okay, so that's a cryptic message right there. So Saeed knows something we don't, it seems.
Keller also said it's one of the combos Drew didn't get to play in World Cup. So this is something they had planned as Quendies for the last World Cup. And
So,
Keller giving us a little bit more insight here than Saeed. Probably talking about the same thing. But the cataphracts didn't do too well here. And how is Drew gonna stop this death ball here?
that's a lot of volunteers. As we know, DMers are so good now doing the attack ground. It can be frustrating but brilliant at the same time. So do you think, Otter, with that information from Mr. Keller, that True is maybe potentially practicing this for DM World Cup 5? This matchup?
Could very well be. I mean, he said he practiced it for last World Cup. But I'm unsure, like, the changes to the slabs might not make it as viable as it was back then.
Yeah. It's just such a dangerous push. I mean, Kellen, True, I should say, has already knocked off one of his forward goals. That's never good. In fact, he's basically knocked off 2 of his forward goals. So a bit of an unlucky runestone generation there in between those wood lines.
Absolutely, really horrible forward goals. His main goal, he doesn't have too much on his main goal. He can still send more there. And at least you get the cheap halberdiers against the Boyar. Nice attack from behind there, getting in on the SO with some cataphracts. That's quite some SO killed there. Nice move to go around there from Drew.
Frost is just so clever with those trebs. 13 trebs, and he just knows any slightest bit of danger, he's just going to maneuver them out of there. However, just as I say that, he's on him idle at the moment, so Frost is probably looking somewhere else.
Actually, this might be a cleanup fight for True, kinda, because all the siege launchers are gone now. If he sends in more unique unit, more cataphracts. Probably some champions as well could be nice.
As we know, the cataphracts with that stampede damage, I say, was trample damage. Excuse me, I just got my native English words mixed up there. And you're actually right. So, was this part of the plan? Draw Frost out and let him basically blow all his gold and then strike him?
I think that sounds like a very much True plan, right? It completely sounds like the player we're watching. And I think that's the idea of the cataphract, and then have a better late game, kind of.
Yeah.
His economy isn't looking too hot though. We have 90 against only 60 villagers for True, and none in queue as well. Byzantines don't need that much eco, but 60 seems maybe not enough. Maybe 70s, 80, I would think. But what do you think?
He's added some more farms to the back. I know who would be really proud of True right now is Hydra, because Hydra is forever saying how good Byzantines are, and I'm like, I don't like them. But Hydra's always vouched for them, and maybe this is one of the reasons why.
Yeah, like the fight in the middle looked amazing. Now we have some raids, some cataphracts in the back of the base of Frost, and well, there's basically cataphracts on all sides of Frost's space right now.
He's basically being surrounded by the Byzantine Empire right now. So Frost has got a lot of TCs. I always vouch when I'm a bit dubious when people have a lot of farms and maybe only one TC and scattered mills. I always think, as you can see at the back of Frost space, the more TCs you have and can afford, look, you can just garrison and protect them really well. So, smart play here by Frost to defend his eco.
It still got stone for probably more castles, even though he's not on stone at all. That's the new slab bonus.
I was just looking at the relics as well. Frost has actually picked up 2 relics. Obviously, he sniped that one in the middle of runestones and sniped another. Although Kellen's just deposited a relic as well, so that's good for him to get on the board.
Yeah, where's the left relic though? There was the one under the castle up north, I think, that he just took. Or maybe the mock is in the castle. No, it's not.
Where's Robo, my relic spotter?
Yeah.
Well, Frost's got to be a little bit careful there. His army's a little bit out of position. Those trebs are exposed, but I don't think Kellen was 100% paying attention to that, because I feel like he could have sniped a few.
Yeah, I feel like those raids might have been a mistake from True. Now he's outpowered an army, and if he had all those cataphracts still at home that tried raiding there and didn't achieve too much, he's losing this fight and he will lose the castle.
Keller is not a fan of the new Slav tech with castles, so
Yeah, I don't think we need more castles in the end.
I think we need probably less castles in sort of a way. Maybe some less hills as well. But looking very good for Frost. Me and Frost is like with the Quendies. I've done a lot of practice games with Frost, and I always feel like no matter like you beat Frost in fights, you're on the front foot, and he always just finds a way to just manage his army. He's very careful about you losing units as well. And he's looking very strong right now, pushing straight down the middle. And as I mentioned earlier, True's not been able to mine those 2 additional front golds.
Yeah, now, how many boyars is that? 52 boyars in that spot, plus all those trebuchets, and where's True's army? Cataphracts?
He's currently
it's come from
housed.
the north. Again!
He's housed right now.
Same as last game.
The only thing I'd say is okay for True at the moment, that Frost has only got 3 onagers out there. But as you can see, Frost just kind of moving them away, attack ground, and there goes pretty much the next wave of True's army.
Yeah, nice micro by Frost, but also from the outset, that fight didn't look too good for True.
Yeah.
I couldn't see that fight really working out. Well, looks like Frost might go 2-0 ahead here.
Looking very strong for him right now. True actually has the Relic lead of 3-2, so that's well played by him. However, it's just Frost. He's still got 40 boyards. He's also got another 40 in the queue, Otter, so he's just going to be pumping them out for days.
Yeah. True. Push just looks too strong now. Bad fight with the boyars there up south. Some monks getting in on the action, trying to convert a Helvetia. Well, that's worth it. Army count is kinda getting closer again, actually.
Frost is technically doing True a favour here. He's actually taking out some of his wood line. However, if this game goes long, that's not good for True. But I guess Frost's army was kind of stuck behind the trebuchets.
I think it was probably a misclick, right? These woodlands are annoying for True, though, so... Yeah. I think he would like an open field more, being the against this player. And GG gets called, because there's raids all over.
2-0 to Frost, so Frost showing no mercy right now in this best of 5 show match. So Frost is looking very, very fresh, isn't he? But I do have to give credit for True for trying something I would say outside of the box. So
yeah, I think it's a hard Civ matchup, but I mean, apparently they did test it a lot and it can work. I saw the theory of it, but it was probably you kind of then want to have one big push and have the other waste, but Frost doesn't really waste enough, probably. I mean, he lost that one big fight, but then his best layout was too good to be raided, and I think the raids cost True a lot, and probably the game, because he won that fight and then lost too many units in the raids.
I imagine what the kind of plan was maybe that to starve the Slav of gold, to make them just basically blow all their gold, and maybe use the, I don't know, maybe just overpower them like that, because Slavs can be a very slow maneuverable civ, but I think it's still an uphill challenge in all honesty. But True gave it his best shot, so we'll respect him for that. And now this is actually Frost's reverse turn. So Frost is going to suggest 2 civilizations, and then True will then pick what he prefers. So Boomstick said he's writing down notes here.
Good stuff to do. So Runestones was actually lost by True. And now we're going to see either Golden Swamp, Kawasan again, or Marketplace.
I got a feeling we're going to see Golden Swamp, but I kind of want to see Marketplace because I've practiced that once and it was really, really kind of fun.
Yeah, it would be super interesting to see like 2 of the best players in the world play Marketplace.
Yeah, because it's a very some people might not like it, but I think it's like kind of cool, kind of different, isn't it, Otter? So
yeah, exactly.
So I'm just updating my Civ things with the maps. So let's copy that.
I'll probably leave both streams to you for 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll keep an eye on the game. So I'll say thank you everyone for joining us for this show match. Hopefully True can pull a game back, because obviously when you see two top DM players play, you want to see as many games as possible because it is exciting. So Paladin says, according to plan, is this a reverse sweep? Is this what it's all about? You give Ross the confidence to go 2-0 up, and then you do the old Quendy backhand and just reverse sweep it. So I'm going to look to see if they started game 3 yet. Don't forget, we do have a little mini DM announcement after this. So after the show match, me and Otter, excuse me, will explain what's coming up very shortly for the DM community, and we will do like a Q&A, question and answers, if people do have any queries or want to understand a bit more about it. So do stay with us. So I think they're starting game number 3. So let's have a look. Okay.
Let's
So
go.
It started, so I'm loading now. I'll give you the ID, and we can probably just do the live version. Actually, no, I'll pause. I'll give you the ID. But we have started game number 3. There you go, Otter.
Yep, loading in as well. And thank you, Glype, for the raid. Welcome, everybody. We are.
Let me know when you've loaded in.
I will. Oh no, now I'm muted here. That was stupid. We're doing a demon.
So I've paused.
Yeah. I'm paused as well, but only at 1:03.
Okay. All right. I'll on pause. So 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So it's what I predicted. Golden Swamp. But what do you reckon of the Civ choices? So Frost gave the option of Saracens or Vikings.
Well, I think Frost again is the better Civ. Hands down.
And not to forget, Saracens got a 15% attack boost on Siege Onagers and Trebuchets in the latest patch. So that's another thing to kind of watch out for as well. But we know True likes Vikings. I know Paladins likes Vikings as well. They can be a very fun Civ, so...
Yeah, just the longbows against Siege Onagers. I'm not too sure, but I think the busted Siege Onagers should do kind of fine. Good start from Trudeau not to die and actually get on the water here.
Yes, the Saracens camels can be very, very difficult to stop early on. But True doing quite well so far.
And thanks for everybody who joined. We are doing a DM show match between two of the best DM players in the world. And after that,
what's the play if you were True as Vikings? I guess the obvious one is you want to secure that middle. That's a lot of gold. Was there ever this much gold in the 1v1 Golden Swamp? Maybe it's been a while since
there's sometimes smaller generations, but I think it's a pretty standard run. And yeah, it's a big island, right? There's not too much water. And that's also bad for the Vikings, I feel, because they got the mobility on water. We're going live, right? I think I'm live now.
Yes, I'm live, yeah.
And nice back rate there with some champions denying a castle. But the middle, we have Cannegans out now. Siege Ram. You're a fan of Siege Rams on Golden Swamp, right?
Yes, they're very good for absorbing kind of galleons, aren't they? Their fire. Not so good against heavy demos, but they are good against galleons. So unless your opponent has like Siege Onagers on the swamp, I think Rams can be very viable.
I remember there was a Viking war on Golden Swamp in Deathmatch World Cup 4 somewhere. And I had long back and forth discussions how good Rams versus Longbows goes. I don't remember what I determined if I want to use them or not.
I think the longbows in numbers are sort of like a chickenu. They actually do pretty good damage against the Rams, but we see Frost trying to push. Oh, okay, he's changed his mind. I was going to say those Berserkers would mop them up pretty easily.
It would, but the ship numbers are really looking good for Frost. We have 45 Saracen Galleons. And we shouldn't forget that Saracen Galleons are faster firing, so they're actually one of the best antidotes you can have against longbows.
There you go.
So that's also speaking for the Saracens. Yeah, I would have totally picked the Saracens here.
So True trying to kind of deny a bit of territory on the left. I guess he wants to maybe stop Frost expanding economy and potentially organising some side attacks. Now we see a big ram push here, but True doing very well to get some kind of infantry there. Maybe a little bit lacking here for Frost is some demos. I think if he realizes that True is going for a lot of the kind of berserkers, maybe a few demos would really help that ramp.
There are the demos. The demos are in the north. They're sinking the ships. Really good demo shots on the fleet. Could have been with the rams, but the demos on the fleet were also effective there.
Okay, so this is quite interesting now. True doing very well to take kind of control of a lot of his side. Frost has actually picked up a relic, so Frost is first to gather one of them. Both players not being able to mine the middle yet. As we know, it can take sometimes a bit of time. Not to forget, Otter, keeps are not allowed. Usually a lot of players in Golden Swamp, won't they? They will start to tower to gain control.
Completely other Golden Swamp, not completely, but a little bit different Golden Swamp games, right? Because the middle is usually full of towers. And which Civ gets keep or not is different, is important. And doesn't matter in this show match. And maybe doesn't matter somewhere else as well.
I just love watching naval battles. I don't know why. I'm personally not a massive fan of Golden Swamp, mainly because I'm terrible at it, but I enjoy spectating it. I just think it's quite fascinating to see a lot of naval armies going against each other.
Well, I love playing it and casting it because it's so... The silence? Are we muted somewhere? No, everything looks fine to me.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Nice.
Sayu just said the silence in my chat and I was thinking something was wrong. Welcome, Microbean. Hope you're enjoying the show. And yeah, Frost now kinda starting to mine the gold, right? I wonder why he's not taking that relic. That's kind of his relic to get there. Nice positioning for him in the middle.
Yep, you can go 2-0 up. I like the way Kennen has stuck one champion. Actually, I can see a corpse or disintegrated corpse of a monk on the left there, where obviously Frost tried to get another relic, which was denied.
Is Kellen sending a monk there? No, doesn't look like it. Still hasn't collected his relic at home as well. And he has one to the right side. He could get 3 relics if he manages to steal that left one. But probably thinking about the battle in the middle right now.
I was going to say, well, as you said that, Frost has actually picked up that one, which was in the middle of the swampy area, and now he's going to add another castle. Okay, so he's looking to secure that. I think this is where it gets a bit problematic for the Viking. I feel like if you give up that middle to the Saracen, it can be quite tricky to get it back.
I agree. The interesting thing with longboards is always you think they are less than they actually are, right? Because they stack up so well. So actually the HP aren't too far away of both fleets here. Even though it looks like Frost's fleet is way bigger.
What I'm finding a bit surprising is Frost not opting. I was about to say Siege Onagers, as I mentioned, with the 15% attack increase now. He has got a couple of them, but I guess they can get quite easily caught out on the swamp, can't they?
Could, but he has to land in the middle. I kind of want to see some siege workshops there, maybe even. Like 1 or 2, one on the right side, one on the left side or something. He has some on the swamp, and that's really nice that Frost is building on the swamp. I think people tend to not build enough on the swamp.
Yes, as you can build up on that sort of kind of... Would you call it? I wouldn't even call it marshy land. What generation is this? Just sort of... I don't know.
I think that's...
Mangrove?
Mangrove, yeah, mangrove. Exactly.
Mangrove.
I think mangrove is the proper name.
Down the bottom here, can you see those berserkers? I don't think they're going to get too much value in general.
Yeah, I think they need some rams with them, right? Oh, there are 2 rams in the siege workshops to the right. Wonder why the berserkers are going there alone without the rams. Don't like that too much.
And I think he's also planning at the top. I saw him move his army of champions in the top left of the map, so I think he's just trying to obviously attack Frost on the swamp, so he's distracted, and then send these size attacks in to see if he can do any damage on the economy.
Yeah, at least we'll deny the castle here to the south. Frost, by the way, managed to get 3 relics, so he got the middle relic and that on the left side. Where that army is patrolling. And that army also needs some ramps, I'd say. There's no siege workshops on the left side.
Humans called them shallows. The area you can build on in the swamp.
True, that's also common used name. Now a ramp push in the middle for Frost after he was pushed back a bit, lost the castle, but still has the fleet power advantage, I think. It's always so tricky with his longbirds. But he should have, right? 31 to 23. Not as striking as I thought.
Now some good pickoffs there by the Berserkers of True. He's just got to be a little bit careful here. Okay, he's noticed now, but he will take a few casualties as he pulls them back. But Frost
Cav archers.
I've seen that quite a few times with Saracens. I think we saw it in Winter's War, if I'm correct. We saw a lot of players go, especially on the land maps, heavy camels with HCA.
It was the antidote to Teutons on Ghost Lake, I think, in Winter's War, if I remember right.
I can understand maybe one Golden Swamp if you send them around to maybe disrupt the economy, but I think as the main battle, I think they're just going to be too expensive. But Frost is mine in the middle, and he does have 3,000 plus gold, so I'm going to let him off there.
And I think he's winning that naval fight as well. Bombard cannons in the mix too. 20 longboats versus 30 galleons. I think the galleons should win that with the bombard cannon support, especially. They would be firing.
Yeah, looking very good for Frost once again. Kellen's still thinking about doing that ram push at the bottom, and also he is attacking at the top. So I think True knows he can't contest water and sustain these size attacks, so I think he's going to maybe cease giving up the water and focus fully on these side attacks. But then that also means Frost is going to be aware of that, so he might transition to maybe some camels or maybe some champions to deal with that.
And also, like, with Saracen's getting SO, he just needs some SO on each side to defend the ramp pushes. Yeah. As he is with champions even defending the one to the right now. See on the left, the castle is being repaired and it's only one trap, so that will take ages until it goes down. Don't think that will do too much damage there.
And True is completely out of gold. He's at his limit. He doesn't have any relics. He only has 13 gold miners, and they're actually on his. Well, he does, to be fair, still have another gold pile, but he's down to his last sort of few tiles. So he's not going to be able to sustain that for too long.
Yeah, his main gold is still there. At least some progress on the right side now. The left side siege ramps are coming in. Doesn't feel like too powerful pushes to really turn this back now. At least we might see a bit longer land with water game. I would love that. So I'm hoping these do something.
Yeah, that's a lot of rams invested. If he got the castle down, I would say, well, he actually is going to get a castle down, I think. But that's still a lot of rams, kind of, which will go down eventually. Down the bottom, those champions are going to clean it out, and at the front, this is where it can get a little bit annoying for a player, where you get pushed off the border, because then a lot of elite cannon galleons are in range of your farms, your military buildings, and it forces you back. But without demos here, those berserkers should actually clean up pretty well.
Okay. Oh, that pond there in between the marshland blocked off the berserkers from killing more cannon galleons.
I feel like they didn't fancy a swim, so they're taking, as Lee calls it, the shallow route around. So, but they are going to get a good bit of value. As you can see, they're chopping a few of them away. Frost trying to retreat.
I think what True is trying here now is Frost has invested a lot on land, like on both left and right side, where he's pushing back and he has a lot of cav archers and everything. So True is trying to get back into the middle, but it's still pop 160 was pop 190.
So I'm surprised that True hasn't at least taken the relic at the back of his base, and also that one you mentioned earlier down to the right. So at least having 2 relics is some sort of gold income. You don't have the middle.
Yeah, agreed. And yeah, army got cleaned up in the middle now. Now there's some demos for True. It'd be so nice with all these cav archers, but he doesn't have docks right now. And calls GG.
So there you go. Frost 9 always looks on form, doesn't he? Taking 3-0 in his best of 5. He's looking strong, isn't he? He's looking strong
He
as always.
is looking really, really strong. Yeah. I wonder if somebody in Leipzig is starting to get worried about him.
Yes,
That's the
DM
German
World
town
Cup
where Viper
5.
lives.
Yeah. Yes, DM World Cup 5. I'm sure 100% we'll see Frost. And yeah, so well played to both players. Very well played to Frost. Doing very well in all the games. He looked comfortable, didn't he? Otter. He didn't look like at any point he was really struggling overall.
He did. He
Very
always
solid.
like got good center control and kind of kept it. I mean, there was the Byzantine one where he got cleaned up at one point in the middle. But yeah, very solid play, very good micro, and also great economy development to
Yep.
sustain that one hard push here from Frost.
And there we go. We had the best of five show match. They had a nice map draft, so it was quite. I actually quite enjoyed seeing at least Kawazan. It was nice to see something a bit more refreshing. I was hoping for Marketplace, but you never know. You never know.